I cry pretty easily. One of the first ones I remember making a big impression on me, just because I didn't have a lot of experience with art house movies growing up, was Persona.
The two that just popped into my head are Gus Van Sant's My Own Private Idaho. And I watched that movie repeatedly when I was younger. And around the same time that I was watching My Own Private Idaho repeatedly, for some reason I was watching Steel Magnolias repeatedly. When Sally Fields, when I think it's Julia Roberts is her daughter in that movie, and she dies, and she's like, goes to the graveyard, and she's like, I think the character's name is Selby, and she's like, "Come on, Selby, take me," or something. And that always got me.
My girl makes me cry so much. When Macaulay Culkin dies and she goes up and she's like, "Where are his glasses? He can't see without his glasses." Always like bawling.
The one that got me was a movie called Ballad of a Soldier. It was World War I. It was about a soldier getting leave from the front to go home and see his mother for the weekend. And I remember that made me cry.
Free Willy. Because I'll tell you this, Free Willy was the first movie I ever saw in America. And I was 8, 9 years old. I was like, "Save the whale!" Like, I was like heartbroken over this whale.
Totally Heroes. It's a really beautiful movie about a man who thinks another man got his life, and he spends the movie trying to kill the man. You know, he sees someone who he grew up with who had the beautiful girl, and because he thought this other person had his life, he totally missed his life.
King's Speech, actually, although I know that sounds like ridiculous. I think any act of courage, when somebody's being courageous, or an act of friendship or love, makes me cry. Yeah, I watched Born Free, didn't it? Cry.
The Lion King. When Dad dies, that's tough. Field of Dreams. Hey Dad, do you want to have a catch? Stop it, Kevin. Forrest Gump. The scene where he walks in and she says, he's your son, and he can't get it out. He says, is he smart or is he like me? And that's heartbreaking. Other than that, Super Troopers? Yeah, but I was probably, I had eaten some really bad brownies. So.
You have no idea, when I first saw Charlotte's Web, I cried hysterically when Charlotte died. I literally lost it. It's me and animals in movies. I mean, it's bad. I watched Marley and Me on a plane, and like, it was one of those overnight flights, and so everyone's like, you know, cocooned in their seat, and I'm like, crying, and then this man woke up beside me. I was so embarrassed, and it was bad. It's so sad for me.
Can't get In the Name of the Father out of my head. Just someone fighting and banging their head against a brick wall over and over and over again is compelling and upsetting and relatable and universal, and then finally the wall cracks, and then finally the wall breaks.
The way we were, because I just loved them together. I wanted them to stay together. I loved them together.
I cannot watch Bambi. That's unbearable. I'm very easy crying. I can cry with Christmas spots, TV spots. Like, oh! When they're coming back to home for Christmas, that breaks my heart.
I saw To Kill a Mockingbird on the television again the other day, and it's just a beautiful film, and there's simple shots, the shots tracking slowly through that little quiet town can almost make you cry because you feel the weight of the film.
Riding Giants, and it's about big wave riders, but especially about that man called Laird Hamilton. He has no father, and he meets that big wave surfer, and he decides that this man is going to be his father. And he presents him to his mother, and they fall in love, and they get married, and he takes his name.
Gone with the Wind made me cry because it just seems so unfair. The Fire made me upset and made me cry, and I had to leave the theater for a minute and then come back. But then the end made me cry too, you know, because I thought everything was going to work out, and it didn't. I got very disappointed.
Going way back, a movie called Biscuit Eater when I was a kid. You know, one of those typical dog movies where the dog dies. And I was 10 or 8, 9, 10 years old. We used to go to the movies in the Marine base in San Diego for a dime. I was so devastated when that dog died. I was just a kid.
I took a class at school last year where we watched documentaries where they showed this movie called Salesman by the Maysles Brothers. Nothing is more kind of like, you know, like existentially barren than the characters' experience in that movie.
Well, the latest movie that I saw that made me cry was Marley and Me. We were at a sleepover, and you know, the dog like is closing his eyes, and I was just sobbing. It was 3 girls, me and my 2 other friends, and 2 of us were just crying, sobbing, and then we looked at our other friend. We're like, "Why aren't you crying? This is like so sad." And she's like, "Oh, well, I like cats."
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I was a mess. It was Dumbo. No, I mean, a baby elephant's mum gets locked up in prison. I mean, who's not going to cry? Come on. You know. I remember when I first saw that in the cinema. As I remember them, it was 3 skinheads with tears pouring down their face. So they weren't just English, they were skinheads. And they were weeping at Dumbo.